Hello everyone, Rhys here. Just thought I'd give you a little rundown of my track called Admit Nothing, which was out on Friday on Alltum Records, available on all your usual streaming sites and Beatport, etc. etc. So if you haven't heard the track before, this is what it sounds like. A little preview for you. I've never done anything like this before, so please bear with me. Hopefully I can get through most of the main elements of the track and give you some idea behind the processing and my thoughts behind each element. Starting off with the kick then, this is a kick that I've layered in previous projects and used in previous projects. So there's two layers originally. I've used the transient of the first kick and the body and tail of the second. Some saturator, some EQ, parallel compression, which I do a lot of. You can see the difference there. So yeah, that's the kick, and a Pultec EQ from the Fresh, which is a Max 4 Live preset. If you don't know the Fresh, go and check him out on YouTube. He's a tech house techno DJ producer. Does a lot of YouTube tutorials as well. So some handy information there. Drums, claps. I'll just start off with the solo of the drums. Claps again, similar kind of thing what I've done to the kick, two layers, taking the transient of the one and then tail end of another. Processing some Fresh A, which does exactly what it says on the tin. I believe this one is a free plugin. Some EQ, some compression, groove hats. Same, I got some Fresh A on this as well. Two different hats, some velocity changes just to give it a bit of groove. Closed hats. Again, I've used closed hats sparingly throughout the track just to give the track some energy in certain areas. Again, using the velocity to create some groove processing. Not a lot going on, some reverb, some shelf boost on the EQ. One thing I do like to do a lot, just to give the drums a bit more body, is like a filtered high top end loop. So filtered delay on there, some vocoder and some EQ with a bit of shelf boost on the EQ. Taking away most of the elements with a low pass filter. Okay, just an element that you probably wouldn't hear unless you really take notice. And if you obviously took away the channel, you'd probably notice it more. Some shakers and loops, again, just to give the track some body, and obviously it's pretty much essential on a progressive house trance track like this. I got a swing shaker which is heavily compressed, just to give it again a bit more groove, a bit more swing. That's the two other shakers. Again, another one that's compressed quite heavily. Moving on to the bass then. 5 layers of bass, comprising of a sub, mid, top, and some accents, and another like filtered loop. A sub is a wavetable preset that I created, and the mid is the same preset. I've obviously filtered out quite a lot of the low end there just to give room for the sub. And I've gone up an octave on the MIDI here as well. Top bass, pretty much doing the same thing other than the obviously the third note isn't going up an octave, it's just using the same key. I believe this one is a Splice preset that I found, which is a pluck. And then obviously I've just probably gone down a couple of octaves on just to get it sounding more like a bass other than like a pluck lead kind of thing. Bass accents. Another wavetable preset that I've done. Just give some interest to the bass line as an element to the bass loop. Like I said, is like a filtered loop, very similar to the drum loop, filtered loop. Some reverb, filtered delay, EQ, some compression. Not a great deal, but yes, there. And the drum bus. The bass bus, some warm up low saturator preset there, some, again, panel compression, some EQ, done a mid-side EQ on the bass as well, because obviously we want everything in mono, we don't need any stereo information coming through, especially when you've got like reverbs and delays on your basses. So yeah. Moving on to the melodic section of the track. These will always, all will be Serum presets that I've either picked up from Splice or maybe one or two that I've done myself. So this is like the main groove, which plays throughout the track along with the ARP. So I've probably done some automation just to give it some interest throughout the start of the track and the build up to the drop. Some other bits and bobs. So yeah, that's the groove, and this is something I've done. Yeah, this is a preset that I created. The ARP is probably something from Splice, yeah. The main lead sound. The main lead actually was just a placeholder when I first was coming up with the keys for the lead. I was going to change it to something else, and then as I started chopping and changing the lead keys, I kind of settled with it and kind of fell in love with it, I guess. And it kind of fit with the vibe of the track that I was going for, so yeah, stuck with it. And then the ARPs and the pads then kind of supporting the main element of the track. Pads, as you can see, is only keys playing, not chords. You can see it's kind of a very deep pad anyway. It does come through the mix quite well, even without using chords. This section here then, I've added a transgate just to build some reverb on the Valhalla Supermassive, which again is another free plugin. Transgate is a free plugin as well from Kilohertz. So yeah, that's the main melodic sounds of the track. Moving on then to Atmos and a lot of things that I've probably resampled, which is one of my favourite things to do in producing. I'm sure it is for many others as well. Just resampling basically sounds that are already in the track, just to glue everything together. You know, some lifters, some downers, some other bits and bobs like reverbs and delays, etc. Starting off with the bass horn. It's probably something I've taken from the pad. Put some reverb on there. I created that. This is a gated pad. Again, another downer kind of transition. This pad then is practically playing the same chords as the main pad here, I believe. And I've just added loads of reverb on there, probably from the Valhalla Supermassive. And I've just obviously chopped some of the first bit up and reversed them, just to use them as a bit of a lifter there as well. So again, a bit of ear candy, bit of just to keep the ears interested. And then last one, big long reverb lifter. I believe this is like a breathy kind of, yeah, just a little transition there. Moving on to another important part of this track is the little vocal samples. So something I probably found on Splice and then just chopped it up just to make it a bit more unique. So I've got one heavily pan to the right, one heavily pan to the left on these two elements here. Probably the same sample, and just change it slightly with the EQs and the reverbs. The main vocal chop. Obviously with the build here, I've chopped it up quite a lot and then used them for the build. A lot of automation on that. Just use some heavily EQ'd it, echo, some delay as well, reverb, vocoder, some more EQ. I'll probably just use that as more as a filter than anything. And some raw. Just to give the high end a little boost. Again, another element that I like using quite a lot is drones. I usually have more than one drone, but obviously didn't feel like the track needed more than the one on this. Drone, not quite sure where the actual sound come from, to be honest. But it's obviously something I've resampled. As you can hear, there's a bit of movement in there, so I think I'd probably put an auto filter within a LFO and just moving it, panning it from left to right, and just filtering out some of the low end and back again. Just add another auto filter here, put some wider, just to make the drone more stereo, giving more stereo width. Again, wide as a free plugin. Some reverb, some EQ. Moving on then to the last section, which is the FX. Not a great deal going on here with the FX. Just got a couple of builds. Obviously there's a snare build there on the main build of the track. Heavily panning. Some EQ, compression. Some EQ on this, which is probably just another little riser. It's a breath riser. It probably sounds similar to that one actually. This is an impact, I believe. Little impact when the track actually breaks down. And some white noise. Who doesn't love white noise? This is an operator preset that I created. Added a utility and some EQ, some mid-side EQ, and obviously just played around with the gain knob on the utility just to add another element there. So yeah, that's pretty much all the elements there. I hope that gives you a little insight into how I work and how this track was created. Yeah, so any questions, please do leave some in the comments. I'd be happy to try and answer most of them. And yeah, and all I gotta say then is thanks for watching. I hope to do some more of these in the near future. Thanks again.